How did you come to join Enfield?
Tommy Lawrence invited me over. Well, I was playing at Barnet at the time. He invited me over to play. I come over here, and it was a lovely squad. Had a good squad of players. It was a players' club at that time. There were some good players here. I come over, stayed 10 years, and then really enjoyed it.
Was it a wrench to leave Barnet?
I left Barnet. It was a bit of a wrench to leave Barnet because I've been there like 10 years as well. So it was a bit of a wrench to leave, but I must say that Barnet Club was a bit old-fashioned type of club run by. When Tommy was here with Dick Butt, and they had a different attitude towards the whole structure of it all, and that was good, and I enjoyed that, really enjoyed it. And so he had some good players and improved all the time, I think.
When you played for Barnet against Enfield, what impressions you had of the club before you joined?
Well, before I come to Enfield, before?
Yeah, when you were playing for Barnet.
I think Enfield was, before I think Enfield, if you say like 1959, that era, 60, I think Enfield was a little bit of an easy touch.
Yeah, they weren't a particularly good team, were they?
A bit of an easy touch, really. They wasn't they were just also runs, as you might say. Then Tommy come over, and being fair to Tommy, he turned a lot of it round, didn't he, Gordon? He turned a lot of it round.
I would think, I don't know Tom at the time, but at the time Tom was probably took on a professional outlook as much as you can running an amateur club.
Yeah.
But as Alfie said, I used to support Enfield when I was at school. I've seen Alfie play, and they were like quite poor really to compare. Barnet used to always beat them, didn't they? Beat them well.
Yeah.
But I think Tommy coming probably, and Dick, they approached it in a more professional.
Turned the club round up. Turned the club round, and some good players come. Tommy got a couple of extra players come in, and they built up, and built a really good foundation. And if you've got a foundation, you've got a house. No foundation, no house.
True. Yeah. How did you come to join Enfield?
Well, I think there's a natural progression. I lived in Enfield, and I was at Tottenham for a while, but I was never going to be good enough. And I think it was my local club, and somebody said come along and play, and I came. Well, I had a sort of half season at Hoddesdon, and then somebody said come and join Enfield, and which I did. I never regret it really, although I've been and come a few times, but you have to do that in football, don't you? You can't. So I was a supporter and a player.
What were the big games against Hendon and Barnet like then, in front of the big crowds? What was the atmosphere like?
Yeah, it's good. It's quite
good.
competitive. It's quite competitive.
A lot of local glory, if you like, wasn't there? Especially, but I can remember particularly Barnet when I was a reserve and I used to play the odd game up there. Yeah. That was a big game for me. I wanted to do well.
And me.
And if you beat Barnet up there, it was a good win, and if they beat you, it was a bad day.
Yeah, it's right. Gordon was right there. Those in the, I suppose the early 60s in Gordon.
Yeah, it was.
Early 60s. Those games come much harder and tighter, much more physical, I suppose.
And there were a lot of local derbies, weren't there? Hendon, they were all sort of local. Wildstone were local,
Yeah.
And the fact that you'd played for some of these teams, you were playing against your old team, that added an edge to it.
I did
for Alfie, I mean, he must have taken a lot of stick when he came from Barnet and came and played at Enfield.
I've called a few names, but Barnet was, when I left Barnet, I was there 10 years and I played for England when I was at Barnet, and when I left there, and a few of the punters didn't forgive me a little bit. All the players, some of the players.
That's right.
The players went back there.
Some people that you thought you were friends weren't when you played against them, were they?
No, that's right. You got on the park, and you got to be yourself dominant. You got to try and dominate the game. If you can.
What do you remember, Alf, of the 1964 Amateur Cup final?
Well, I can remember we played quite well actually. I thought we was a better side by then Mitch broke his arm, wasn't it, his shoulder. It threw us a bit, but then we had a lot of chances to get back on that. Felt gutted when I come off the park at the end because I thought we had a good chance. I can always remember I thought I was going to score once, bring it back to 2-2, and Billy Broomfield come across the front of me and I was just going to strike it, and Billy come across his left foot, and he hit it right sideways, God bless him, like Billy. But Billy, like, you know, he's a hard-working lad, like. And,
Like to score, didn't he, Bill?
oh,
Like
yeah.
to goal.
Yeah, like to goal. But no, it was losing. It was awful at Wembley. It was awful.
It's never nice to lose, and losing at Wembley, fortunately, it never happened to me, but I think it must be the worst of all.
Yeah, I think when you lose some of them games, semi-finals are
Worse,
earlier.
yeah.
They're difficult. I always found them not difficult to play, always on edge and frightened. People more frightened to lose than win, like sometimes.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
I played in 13 semi-finals, and it was quite, how can you say,
No wonder you're grey, Alf.
yeah, that's right. It's I don't know. The tension is much more in the semi-final and things like that. And when I give a penalty away up at Sunderland, it was against one of the Shields team. And it wasn't a penalty. And
It's Whitby, I think.
Whitby, yeah, and we got beat 2-1, I think. Yeah, a bit gutted about that one. Yeah, because we were the best side again, like generally, and that. We had a good era at Enfield. It was smashing. Smashing time, you know.